All right, everyone, welcome back to RCH Builders. So today we're gonna try to get these windows in, and we'll show the way that we do it. It may be a little different than the way some people do. All of this is getting inspected. We have to do it according to the way that the inspectors require it to be done in our area. So I would agree with a few other people that it is technically the wrong way to do it, but that's the way that they require it to be done here, so that's what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is just take and cut a little angled slit down through from the corner. We're going to cut across, and we will fold this in. Like I said, I do agree with a few other people who would say you would not want to do this because you're technically bringing that drainage plane into the house. When you're doing it this way, I will say it is extremely important that you make sure you tape them really well to avoid that water from being able to get in. We're going to do the same thing at the bottom. Just angle it up through. It doesn't have to be an exact angle, you're just trying to get it very close. Normally, in this area where we're having to do this, I'm just going to wrap this down and staple it to the framing, but because we waited so long for the windows, it's sheetrock, so instead just cut it off here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the other one ready because this is a double window here. It's two singles that are being used as a double because of this being a historical district. That dimension between the windows needs to be exact replica of what is already existing. So with that, it's two singles working as a double. The tape for the middle is going to go and it's going to work for both windows at the same time. So I want to do both windows at once instead of each one separately, which is what I would normally do. Alright, so for the window tape, what I'm going to do, and I can measure it in here just so you can see it, is I'm going to, which actually, because I'm doing this double window, I'm going to go ahead and go all the way across. Otherwise, I would start at, say, about here technically, about that much of an overlap. And I'll do the same thing on this side. So I'll just cut it about here. This tape is very, very sticky, extremely. It's essentially tar, So you want to make sure that you get this tape exactly where you want it before you let go. And I'm going to back this up because I don't have much visual here. I need room to work because, like I say, this is very sticky. Just peels back, and then it becomes, if this creases at all, it is nearly impossible to get that out. So, and you'll see this a little more from the outside later, but I'm just going to peel off a section. Try to keep it evenly across there. As far as I want it sticking up about that much. Then I'm going to, on this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut them. Kind of the same as what I did here. Fold that in. And same thing over here. So it's going to end up leaving this whole corner here. There's a little spot here. See how well I can get that tape, that overlap, and then it's just going to go across with the other window. And then we got to do one more thing. So we want to seal, of course, this corner. So we can take, and I'm just going to cut off this bad spot of this one. This is a leftover piece from another window I've done. And it's the end of a roll. And we'll cut a piece for each side. So what we'll do is we'll just fold this in half. Makes it best. It's a lot easier if you pre-fold it. And then I'm going to peel back one side only and stick it right in the corner. And press that down. And then I'll take the other side loose and just fold it to the up top. And then we will cut this, and what we're going to do is, you can see right here is the end of that. We want to make our cut about a 1/2 inch out from the edge so that we can stretch it. And let's see if I can get this camera leaned out here. Hopefully you can see it somewhat there. So it's going to stretch that around that corner. So it still leaves it there, and that helps seal that little very, very corner here from where you had cut that before. So you can see how it overlaps some. So we're going to do that with the other 3 corners, and then we'll be ready for the window. Alright, so now we're ready to put the window in. There's two ways that you can put in a window. One, you can try and carry it up this nice extension ladder and set it in from the outside. That I've always found to be extremely difficult to do without dropping it. The other is to send it from the inside out at an angle and then bring it back to you. That's all usually, in my experience, a whole lot easier when you're dealing with heights like this, where it's not just, you could just use a 6-foot ladder, you know, from below. When you're way up in the air, I always find that much easier, but you have to be very careful, especially with these windows. These ones are not just your standard plastic vinyl windows. These are wood and aluminum, so they are very heavy. So if you're going to do this, make sure you can handle their weight. Okay, so based off of what I was checking, let's go like that. Alright, put a nail down here in this corner. Actually, give me 1 second. Okay. Put a nail on the window. Oh. Put a nail on the window. You put a nail over here. Put a nail here. Hand me the nail. Put a nail on the window. Alright, put a nail in the bottom corner.
My closest corner is up here.
Is it against?
Yep, all the way against.
Okay. Alright, what about down here? Is there one closer?
Yeah.
Okay, well then go ahead and do it there.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. Top corner,
Middle.
middle.
Right there.
Good?
Alright.
Where am I going, top?
Top.
Ready?
Yep, right there.
Alright.
Alright, other side.
Right, can you get that?
So the reason that you want to check it from here to here and then from here to here instead of just overall is because the middle part of this jamb, with it, especially when it's really long like this, can go like this, especially with the weight of the windows and everything. So you want to level from here to here first, lock this in, and then continue that leveling up through. The bottom's nailed.
Okay, so in the middle.
Yep.
Alright, this wobbly.
Right there.
Okay.
And the top should be good because it should be locked in due to the other side.
Okay.
I'll try and see if I can shift it a hair. All right, right there. So that should lock it in. From there, we can simply fill the rest of the holes around the window. Most times, manufacturers only require you to do every other nail. Actually, the plant that I used to work at, they a lot of times would not even do that many. They do like every third. But with the distance that these are and everything, I'm just going to do every single one. It helps, in my opinion, just make sure everything stays good, especially with the wood and the aluminum versus the vinyl that has a tendency to expand and contract more. So with that, we're just going to lock it in, but in most cases, you only have to do every other one or every third. So we're going to do the next one from the outside so you can see what it looks like coming out that way. All right, so from there, all we got to do is finish nailing it in the last little bit, which is almost done. And then we got to tape it. So when you're taping it, you got to think about how water runs downhill, of course. So you're going to want to tape, re-tape all the way across the bottom, that flange, and we're going to go all the way across. We're not going to split it in the windows. Then you'll go up the sides. So that'll be 3 runs there. And then you'll go all the way across the top, and you'll want to overlap pretty much the entire width of the material each time you do that. So that's what we're going to do next. How much do you want about?
Good?
Yep.
All right. Let go. And there's that one. I'll probably try to get y'all a shot of the other windows completed, but otherwise I think that's probably plenty long enough for the video. So hope you enjoyed watching, and we'll see you the next time.